Back in 2020 during the pandemic, I was in a totally different space. I was living in LA, trying to leverage my career for a show that had just come out on HBO called Mrs. Fletcher. But I really thought that things would happen in a different way. And I got to be honest with you, my relationship was not so good with my wife. And I had become very lost. And one way that I found my way back was actually going back home to Texas. And I discovered a lot of things about myself. Honestly, I didn't know what I was going to do. Our industry had shut down, acting was not going anywhere. Hollywood looked like it was never going to bounce back. And I panicked. I needed something to do. So I started thinking about business ideas. Like, what kind of business am I going to go into? What kind of business can I invest in? And, immediately the stock market. I had some experience with the stock market, but there was something else that I was missing. And part of it was, what's going to be the thing to help me feed my family? And at the time, during the pandemic, I had reconnected with my longtime mentor, Danny Liggins, who I told you about, who owns a pest control company in Texas. Well, he needed some help and was just recovering from prostate cancer. I was in town. I told him I'd help him out. No strings attached. Well, come to find out, I was actually still pretty good at this job that I did when I was in my early 20s. And he suggested that I stay in Texas and start my own company. And I said, well, I am an actor and I have a family in New York that I have to get back to. Now, well, actually, I was on a job with him in Magnolia, Texas, at one of his longtime customers' house. Very nice home on a nice piece of land in Magnolia, a nice, well-to-do family. And, I'm doing the home inside, outside, just like he taught me. Really tip-top service here. I really take a lot of pride in my work. And that's one of the qualities that he taught me when I was a kid, and he was mentoring me through the Big Brothers and Big Sisters program, is to take pride in your work. And so here I am. I'm almost 40, and I am doing this job. And the customer asked me, hey, are you going to follow in your big brother's footsteps and do pest control? And I said, no, I'm not a laborer. And to my surprise, that statement shocked him. It really shook him. And to me, I'm just thinking, I'm a creative. I'm an actor. Not that this job is beneath me, but I just can't see myself doing this and not doing acting. And that was kind of my point. It was never to put down the profession or put down my big brother. It was more so to highlight that I'm an actor, guys. This is my identity. I'm not the guy that's the blue collar worker. Although there's a lot of value in being that blue collar worker, or any worker for that matter. Whatever you decide to do as a profession to provide for your family, it's okay, as long as it's legal, of course. But I was at a time where my industry was crippled and I didn't know what I was going to do. And that was the furthest thing from my mind. But God had other plans. A couple more weeks went by, and finally, I decided to say, hey, why don't I look into starting my company in New York? And the rest is history. Here I am with a successful company that I also get to run and work with my wife of 20 years now. Happy anniversary. That's my story. So I say that to say, no matter what you do in life, no matter the goal, focus on the donut and not the hole. Because this is something that I thought about when I was in grad school. Here I am, a 30-plus-year-old married man with a child, and I am looking at the industry in a way that a business person would. How am I going to get a return on my investment? What jobs will I take? What jobs will I not take? Well, one of the things that was never on the table for me was doing off-Broadway theater in the small theater houses. Just didn't pay enough. And I couldn't justify to my family that, hey, listen, I'm going to take the next 6 weeks to maybe even 6 months and reduce our income by 70%. So we are going to be eating cereal and milk for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the next 6 months. I just couldn't put them through that. And then that's one of the things that as actors we all have to consider is how do you evaluate what jobs you will take and what jobs you won't take? Well, in this conversation with Marchant Davis, we dive into exactly that. Welcome to In the Waiting Room, a podcast that invites professionally trained actors, especially those from institutions like NYU, Juilliard, and Yale, to sit down and speak candidly about life between the big breaks. It's a space for honest conversations about faith, craft, career, family, failure, identity, reinvention, and the quiet resilience it takes to keep showing up when the spotlight dims. This podcast was born out of my personal journey from a troubled high schooler finding purpose in theater, to a discouraged undergrad who nearly quit acting, to a seasoned NYU trained performer who's booked meaningful roles, but still finds himself in the waiting room of the industry. So come along on this journey as we speak to actors across the broad spectrum of theater, TV, film, producing, directing, you name it. This is In the Waiting Room with Rashad Edwards.
I have so much more experience now than I did then. It's so much more like I've done more.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like what I know now and I didn't know then. And I don't even think when I left this place I am where I am now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's funny to sit back because you're like, oh, I don't have, like, I think they look for you to say something. I don't have much to say beyond like, just, keep going. And also, but there is something you can tell where some people are failing up.
Mm-hmm.
When I say failing up, it's like they stay out and they have a curiosity and they challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I do find that our class did that some, like in a way that like, not everybody in that class, but like, there's some people who did that in a great way. I remember when we were doing the dog shit, and I would watch you do that.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh, he got something that I can't figure out. Let me try to mimic that.
No, but that's what the fuck I did.
I just was like, let me try to mimic that.
Yeah.
And that shit worked.
I didn't even know that.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know you did that.
Oh, that's when I couldn't succeed at something, I would look at somebody who was doing it better than me.
But doesn't mean that's kind of what you have to do.
Yeah, I mean, that is what we do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie, I'm a fraud. I just steal. No, but real talk, I steal from other people. I'm an amalgamation of all of the really good people around me. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's a lot of really great people around me. They don't know it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they find out later when you're talking to them like 4 or 5, 8 years later. And you're like, yeah, I stole that thing. And they're like, wait, you stole it from me? Shit, I take the little things here and there. What Richard used to say, tools, not rules?
Tools, not rules.
And so I take little tools from everybody. But when I say failing up, it's like there are people who stay out in a place of curiosity
mm-hmm.
and in a place of risk.
Yeah.
And then there are people who sort of play the respectability politics.
Mm.
Like you can tell they want to be liked. They want things to be all neat and clean. I don't think I was ever like that. I don't think that I was like.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't. I don't think so. I don't remember that. Maybe in one or two tasks or so. If you think about a scene that you did that
Yeah,
scripted,
yeah. When it's yeah,
right.
yeah.
Well, mainly because you have to stick to
What's there?
yeah,
And you're like but that's a different thing than like Jim's. That's why I sit in on Jim's class
right.
because I think the scripted stuff and the scenes. I struggle with some of that partly because some of those roles people would never play or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's a lot of things that are at play there.
Yeah, it's an exercise.
Yeah, it's an exercise.
Mhm.
So like sometimes you're like, okay, they wouldn't play that role, or that's not a role that I would even want to play outside of this place. You know, there's the scenes I did or shows I did here that I would never audition for out in the real world.
Mhm.
Not even if it was like on Broadway. Like
Even if the money was good, and
if it was a film,
and the producer was like, "I know you don't see yourself in this role, but I do because you're Marchant Davis." And
if it was a film,
if it was a film,
yeah, not for
what's the
theater.
difference?
Because I get paid more. What you mean? What's the difference? I'll get a check.
Stand on business.
It's just, I don't give a fuck. I get a check. I've already done it. I don't give a damn. You know what I mean? If somebody was like, "Oh, Caucasian chalk circle is coming," I'd be like,
Is that real? No, you just said,
"No, I'm just saying."
hypothetical.
But like a hypothetical.
Right.
I don't think I would be
unless it's done in a certain way.
Unless it's a director I really want to work with, and I know some other people in the cast. That's not something, you know.
You get somebody. Okay, so you've been out of grad school for 9 years now. I don't know if you remember that or you know that.
We're on the 9th year.
Yeah, this is the 9th.
This is
graduated in 2016.
Yeah, I was the youngest in the class.
Yes. And I was the oldest.
Yeah, you.
But that doesn't mean that it made our careers any different or out in the field for this 9 years.
What do you mean?
Meaning like, just because you were the youngest in grad school and I was the oldest, it didn't, you were going to get the work you were going to get and I was going to get the work that was coming out, right?
Yeah, what's yours is yours.
Yeah.
What's for you won't go by you.
Right.
I firmly believe that.
No.
But?
No, I mean, that's true. It's true. This is kind of like you're the third guest on this podcast, and, it's kind of been consistent about that. Like, what's for you is for you. And, acting is going nowhere. We're always going to be telling stories.
Well,
were you thinking about AI?
That's not what I'm saying. This all going to be over. We're all going to die. I mean, that's a guarantee.
That is a guarantee. We're all going to die. We're not going to live forever.
Yeah.
There'll be a whole set of other Marchant Davises and Rashad Edwards.
I mean, if the earth is still here, then and those bastards are lucky enough. If those bastards are lucky enough, good luck, motherfuckers.
But, you get my point.
Sure.
Yeah, so my question was about the young actor coming out of grad school. So because you said that, if it's a certain director, if it pays a certain amount of money, how many actors do you think coming out of training programs like NYU with Juilliard and Tisch are having that conversation with themselves?
I don't know. I can't speak for anybody but myself. I think I've always had this sort of rubrics because someone gave it to, like I said earlier, I steal from people and I stole this rubrics from somebody. I can't tell you who because it's just like something I've heard other actors repeat, but I have 3 P's and it turned into 4. So people, play, pay. And the 4th is place. Play meaning the script, whatever it is, I'm like the actual piece that I'm working on. People meaning like if it's an actor I really want to work with, a writer I really want to work with, a director I really want to work with, I'm in it, or a producer that I'm good friends with. Pay, sometimes you need to make your health weeks. Sometimes you need that extra 5-10 grand job to get you that tag insurance. Or sometimes you just need money.
Yeah.
And you want to go on vacation soon. You know what I mean? I know that sounds vain, but like,
no, you have to treat yourself.
Yeah. So depending on where I'm at in my life or those things, one thing might take precedent over another, or where we're at in the industry, one thing might take precedent over another. But I feel like that's something I've always sort of led with. People, play, pay, and I've added place. And I felt like that's something I had when I got out of school, because that's how I was sort of, when I was saying yes or no to auditions. Maybe call me insane. I am a bit crazy, just for the record. Little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I think anything that comes into my spirit, anything I'm asked to audition for, I already have. And just the audition process is me deciding whether we all want to work with each other.
Mhm.
That's probably a very, really like cocky way of looking at it. But like, I like to go into things with having a little power and onus. So like, I like to believe, okay, if they said, come do this tomorrow, would you actually do it?
Mm-hmm.
And so if I can't check off those things and say that, I don't even audition.
So you have to check off all 4 of the P's?
No,
Or at
no,
least
that's
one?
a good question. At least 2.
At least 2.
At least 2, not 1.
Mm-hmm.
At least 2.
Mhm.
3 would be great. All 4 would be a dream come true.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've had, at most on any job, I've had 4 on a couple of jobs. I'm not gonna lie. No, I've had 3 on a couple of jobs, because there's a job where I was like, oh, I thought I would be making more money than that. Like, I'm always thinking I'm gonna make more money than that, because shit's expensive. It costs too goddamn much.
Well,
Fucking MTA is going up to $3. You know, when we first started at NYU, the MTA cost less than $2.50.
oh, I don't know. How much was it?
It was like
$2.25?
yeah, $2.25
And then
between 2019 and 2013. But 2012, 2013, it was $2.25, $2.50. And it went up. It's going up to $3.
okay.
As of 2026. It's going up in price, but service is going down.
Right.
And so I only say that because I know I don't want people to think I'm vain and fucking I only care about money. But sometimes like you gotta live. You have to live. It's an expensive ass city. The sort of the starting line is different than when we were in school. You can get a 1-bedroom apartment when we were in school for like $1,800.
Yeah.
Now you can't get one for less than like 25, 24, 25. You know? And so money is a big thing. That like when I take anything,
Yeah.
I think I stopped a long time ago doing things for free.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you talked me into doing this. I kid.
No, it's on the NYU
Yeah.
classmate shield.
Yeah. That's literally why.
Yeah.
Because I go,
I mean,
of
we
course.
watched each other's pets.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
No, I'm joking. I'm giving. But you know what I mean.
yeah, I do. But you know, when I moved to New York in 2003, the MTA fare was $1.50.
That's crazy.
So you're talking about
That is
what, 100% increase in 20 years, 22 years?
That's crazy.
It's,
But
in hindsight, is it that much of an increase?
what you mean? Is it that much of an
In a
increase?
22-year period, you go to $1.50 to $3.
Yes, it's crazy when your service is not meeting the price point. When your service, when I get on the train and half the motherfucking time when you getting on the motherfucking L, somebody jumps in front of the train car, so they say, at Union Square,
Yeah.
and you got to get off the train and find a way home
Yeah.
because they don't care. They're not reimbursing you.
That's
I'm
true.
sorry, this is a tangent, but
No, you're right.
But that shit happens you know how many times that happens? This morning that shit happened here.
I heard.
Like this morning, I'm like on the L, and the fucking lights go out, the AC go off.
Yep.
We were stuck at the station looking at everybody else out the window for 20 minutes with no AC. A woman fainted next to me. I'm like, what the fuck? So yes, money is a big thing.
But
So-
they're making so much money off this
They are.
congestion pricing. So
I don't understand. Like, listen, I don't understand any of it. All I do know is that when I get a job, money is one of the big sort of factors of whether I take it or not. Whether it's a reason I probably haven't gone out of town and done a lot of regional stuff.
right.
Is the reason, like, for periods of time in the last 9 years that I've been out, I said no to doing off Broadway or no to doing theater in general. Like, there was a whole like year and a half where I was like, I'm not doing any off Broadway theater. If it comes in my inbox, I'm just going to say no. And it's not because I don't want to. It's not because the desire isn't there. I can't afford it.
Yeah, you got to look at your bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I was like, I'm gonna make more on unemployment and doing other shit than doing this.
do you think more actors should have, let's say, like mindset when it comes to coming out into the business, into this world, instead of just saying yes to everything?
I think that there's a point in your career where you have to kind of say yes to everything. If no one knows who you are, then how are they going to know who you are, right? I think that early on, like in the first couple of years out of school, it kind of made sense. But then at the end of the day, everybody's running a different race, because for some people they come out and like, boom, they get this thing, or boom, that thing happens. I mean, for me, when I got out of school, 6 months later, I was the lead I was number one on the call sheet for feature film starring Danielle Brooks and Anna Kendricks and myself. And then fucking a BAFTA award-winning, Oscar-nominated writer, BAFTA award-winning director. You know, the writer for Succession was the writer for this film.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I think when there are moments in your career when you can go, okay, maybe I don't need to say yes to everything. And it's not a cocky thing. It's more like, because a lot of, you become, how do I say it? You become, your value goes up over time and the more you work, I guess, is the really sort of like reductive way of talking about it. And as your value goes up, then you have to sort of suss out what is going to help you continue to grow, what is beneficial to you and what is more beneficial to them. You know what I mean? Like sometimes doing some of these readings and workshops, you got to say no to some of that shit, because half the time I mean, this is going to sound so bad because I'm also going to say you got to say yes to all these things, right? But like there comes a point, right, where you're like, oh, I'm just helping them fix this play so then they can go cast somebody else. Or I'm helping them do this. And literally these theaters are fucking horrible because there's no sort of restriction on like 29-hour readings. So you can get paid $100 for a 29 or $150 for a 29-hour reading.
Oh, no.
And I've done them.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of them. I've done them for shows that are headed to Broadway this season.
Oh, yeah.
You know, this coming season.
And there's no way you could have gotten an agreement prior to accepting it, like a first.
Well, it all depends, right? Like it depends on the thing. I'm not going to talk about that right now, because then, yeah. But it depends on the thing, right? It depends on how well they know you. It depends on how well you want it. You know what I mean? It's a combination of all the things. I think I can't say there's a rubrics for how to do it. Like it's not like everything is the same, but I do think that there are phases, right? There's a phase, and sometimes you can go back and forth. You can flip between phases. There might be a phase where your value is up and you go, okay, maybe now it's not the time that I do all those little things because they're actually taking me away from all the things that I could be doing or I should be focusing on, or the jobs I should be going after, or the things I should be writing, you know, or not even should be writing, but like things I should be focusing my attention on. Yeah. You know? And then there might be a phase where, oh shit, it's day. Yeah. Ain't nobody working. Ain't nobody doing nothing. And not only is it dead, everybody's like, yeah, fuck DEI. You know what I mean? And you're like, I didn't like DEI anyway. And so you're like, oh shit, that's the moment we're in. If this is the moment we're in, now I got to flip the way I am, because there's less coming in or there's less happening. So how do I keep going? And sometimes it's taking this little thing or that little thing, or, you know, taking a teaching job here, doing, you know, I don't know what it is for any individual person. I know what it is for me, and it changes. Yeah. It's never the same throughout time. There have been moments where it's like, yeah, maybe I'm not going to audition for those kinds of things right now, because there are other opportunities that are happening. And I think let's focus our energies on that. And in that way, you know, there are things coming in. There are people asking to sit down with you to have conversations about said project or this or that. There are offers, you know, and in that case you go, well, maybe I don't need to focus my energy here or spend so much time doing that.
Mhm.
And then there are times when, even when that thing is happening, you still like something comes up where you're like, "Oh, I really love this play or this workshop or this thing seems really exciting because I haven't, like I sing, but not everybody knows to do that.
Yeah, I was thinking about that when because you were singing in
Yeah.
the hallway there, and I was like,
Okay.
I haven't heard you sing in a while. I
Yeah.
don't know how much singing do you don't do any musicals.
I've done I've done a handful of workshops of musicals in the city. Like a and that's one when you ask like when like there's a musical that's coming that I've done workshops of in the city.
But you're not in it.
No, I'm not in it.
Come on.
I'm not in it because I'm not the right person for that role.
Okay, but you were the right person to workshop it.
Yeah. Because
How does that make sense?
what do you mean? How's that?
How does it make sense that you were the right person to workshop the role and get it to a point to where you're no longer a fit for it?
I don't know. You got
What is it? Is it
I
a
can't
preference? Is it a
I can't speak for the people on the other side of the table. I know the facts.
Mhm.
So like with that show, it was like this character is this. He's light skinned. He's a little older. He's this, and I was like, I don't fit those.
Why didn't they get that from the get go? I don't understand. Why didn't they just?
They probably but they probably did ask. For all I know, I was like the third person they asked to do the workshop.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And they just went, "Oh, we can't get the people who would be right for this, but Marchant is fantastic." You know what I mean? So he'll be great in helping us develop this. And sometimes you do that because you go, "Oh," then you remind people, "Oh, I do this. I have this other skill."
Mhm.
And then things come up. Like I've done a lot of workshops, musicals. Musicals are tough though because it's like it's I they're not tough. It's tough for me because one,
You're pointing at your wrist because you don't have the time. What is not a lot of roles for is not a lot of stories about the
yeah.
dark skin.
I mean, unless I want to go and be in Hamilton for 6 years,
Right? Who wants that?
and I mean, there are a lot of people who do, and I'm not. I think that's great for them.
Yeah.
And at another point in my career and in my life, maybe I would have done that if that happened at some other point. I don't want that right now.
Mm.
And so, like, then they're like the new with the musicals, then you play the workshop game. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So you do have to help develop it from the beginning in order to be in the conversation for those specifically, to be completely honest. Those are a little different. So, like, a lot of times, a lot of those people who have helped develop it along the way end up staying with it. So that's why I say yes to some of those types of things. But there's no formula.
Yeah. I want to go back a bit to what when you decided to attend grad school and why NYU.
I decided to attend NYU because I went to BADA with Kareem Lucas and he forced me. He forced me because I saw him work with Fiona Shaw in a workshop. And him and Jeremy Tardy were doing a scene he was doing the tent scene from Julius Caesar. And I was like, damn, I want to be able to work like that.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, I can't see somebody work like that and have that facility and not sort of like, I was enamored.
Mhm.
And so he forced me to apply because I saw him work.
Wow.
I'm being a little silly. He didn't like hold the gun.
Yeah,
But he coached me.
yeah, for your audition.
Mm-hmm. Kareem coached me to get into NYU. And that was one of the reasons. That was like the start of the thought, right?
Mhm.
When I was like, damn, I have a monologue, but I don't know how to work in that way. Like, I just don't know how to, like, I don't think I know how to take the note. I don't think I know when she says this, I don't think I understand. You know what I mean? Like, I see it, but I don't have the language. I don't have all the language. And I was there training. So I think I have more than I thought I did. And I think everybody probably always saw that in me. But I'm the type of person that, like, I'm ferociously questioned. I mean, you know this because you were in my class.
Yeah.
I even questioned being here when I was here.
Of course.
Every day I was like,
What am I doing?
yeah, what's his name? Scott Miller used to be like, so how you feeling about it today? And I was like, I don't know. Let's just get this. Once we finish this, we go and see.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll leave after this. He's like, okay, you're more than welcome. And I was like, I know. Yeah. I'm going to go back a little bit because I remember, I know, unapologetically, I remember, I only bring that up because when I went to undergrad, I specifically remember feeling obligated to stay because, my grandma had passed. She had been she helped pay for my tuition. When I got there, I was like trying to prove a point because my mom looked at me and she said, you're the only one. And I was like, only what? She said, the only one. And I was like, and there was like one other black boy there. He wasn't even in my department. And so I think, and and she said that being like, if you want to leave and come home, it's okay. I'm not like if you want to come back, we can do all this shit over. Mm-hmm. We can reapply. It's okay. I trust that you'll get there and get what you want. And I was like, no, I'm staying here. And so I felt like my experience in undergrad was more defiance and the fact that I'm like, it might not be the right place, but I stayed there and I found a way. And then I found NYU, or NYU found me through BADA. Because Marchant Davis came and he spoke to us at BADA that year when I was there. And
for those, just to clarify, anyone out there who does not know what BADA is.
Oh, British American Dramatic Academy. They have a Midsummer in Oxford program that runs about 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks. I don't know. Something like that, about 2 months at the University of Oxford. And a lot of the professors and faculty members are some folks who work at the RSC, some folks who work here at NYU, some folks who work uptown at Juilliard, some folks who work up at New Haven. Like there are a lot of professors from Andrew Wade was there and Marchant Davis came through, and they all like come through this program. They all they all spend their summer here training young actors. And people come from all over the world to go there. And I went. And
how did that happen with you getting there?
Well, actually, a friend of mine because I was reapplying to Howard University when I was an undergrad. And when my grandma died, I decided not to. But my friend knew that I wanted more training, and she was at Howard. And she was like, I'm going to do this thing this summer. You should do it too. And so we both applied. And that's how it happened. And then I told other friends at BOCO to apply. My friend from Howard, who I grew up with in Philly, she actually ended up not going because she couldn't afford it. I took out a Discover credit card, and I paid for it that way. I got a scholarship, and then for what I couldn't pay for with the scholarship, I paid for with the Discover credit card, aka the flight, which was, that.
Yeah.
And I'm, you talking.
You paid that back already, right?
Yeah. You talking, this is like 19-year-old, 20-year-old Marchant. So like, I didn't have any money to like really be spending like, 20, you talking 20-year-old Marchant. So like, I was just like, 21-year-old? 21, I forget. Was I turning 21? No, I had just turned 21. So 21-year-old.
Okay, so probably your junior year?
Yeah. Yeah. A junior, senior year. So that experience happens. And then, because to bring it back, you asked me why, how did I decide on NYU? How did I decide how did I know? I wanted to go to grad school in general. Then I did a production of a play called Way of the World by William Congreve. And it was after this production that I knew I didn't have the tools. I knew I didn't have all the tools.
Yeah.
I knew that like in me was like something that like I needed help unlocking. In me, there were some things I needed help unlocking. And there were tools that I didn't have to do that. I had a lot because I got in, you know what I mean? And this isn't the only program I got into. I had a lot, but I didn't have everything I needed. And I learned through this production because my mama came and she looked at me and she said, I fucking hated that show.
Oh.
And I was like, damn. And it was my senior year in undergrad. And I'm like, damn.
The bitter
That,
truth.
yeah. And I was like, I can't go into the world like that.
Yeah.
And my and my mom, yeah, I just knew.
Did you ask her why she hated it?
It didn't matter.
That was it. That was
It didn't matter. When she said it, I was
knew
like, well, I had a feeling. I had some feelings, but she hated the design. But more importantly, even beyond that, right? Like you can hate all those other things and still my performance can come out. That's not what she said. She said, I hated that. Now, why you did that show? Mhm. And I was like, damn.
Good Lord.
And I was like, damn. And I thank her for that, because if she didn't say that, I wouldn't have known that I needed to go to grad school. Because after that, I was like gung ho. I auditioned for them, and I applied, and we got in.
Any other schools you auditioned for?
I auditioned for like 3 here: Yale, UCSD, and another school that will not be named because I did the audition, and then I did the call. Then they invited me to the callback. But after the audition, I was like, ain't no way in hell I'm going here. So, I mean, I probably should name them, but it's okay.
You said Yale. You auditioned for them too?
Yale, UCSD, in here. And I it was because of Kareem. Like even though he was coaching me, he's coaching me, and I was like, he was like preparing me for all the,
Yeah.
But I was like, no, I think I know where. I like knew I wanted to come here.
Yeah.
And to be 100% honest, I knew I wanted to come here when I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah, me and my mom used to walk by this place all the time, and I said, one day I'm gonna be there. I said it when I was a kid. She said, you are. And when I called her after Mark called me, he got off his plane at Berkeley rep. I remember that fucking call. And he said, I just wanted to call you, tell you. I called my mom. I was crying. She said, well, sound like you know where you going. I was like, well, I still gotta. She said, you've always wanted to go to NYU.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're right. And I didn't apply to Juilliard because I didn't want to go.
You didn't want to do another 4 years.
I didn't. But Carrie, she was at Bottle with me.
Well,
and her and Jeremy. And I remember talking to Jeremy about it. I was like, should I apply? And he was like, he said something. And I was like, bet. And so I think that was like my answer.
Yeah.
And I knew like I went to I remember being at the callback weekend at one of the schools, and turning to somebody else that was there and saying, I don't want to go here. I literally said that out loud. And I was like, fuck, do I want to be an actor? And then I came here and I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm here. This is where I'm coming. And if you don't want me, that's your loss, but this is where I'm coming.
Nice.
And I remember I read
the balls on this guy.
I know. Yes, wow. And I remember talking about in my letter, they're like, why do you want to come? I was like, because I failed at this really, really dense piece of text called Way of the World. And Janet was like, oh, I love that. She lit the fuck up. She said, and I was like, and I saw her light up, and I was like, well, maybe she can help me figure out how to unlock that text, which she did.
She did. Oh, did she know that?
What? Did she help?
She helped you unlock that?
I think, because she does Shaw and all that stuff in her class.
But have you ever explicitly told her that?
No, I have not.
Well, you can tell her now.
Yeah.
Hopefully she'll listen to this.
Maybe she will.
So,
Janet, you helped me unlock it. You did it, girl. Thank you, baby. You go, girl.
That's amazing.
It was. I still remember. I remember when she like lit up when I said it, and I was like, huh. Oh, yeah. That sounds like she knows what that play is.
Right.
And she's interested in helping me do the thing that I can't do.
Right.
Like I literally came in being like, I can't do this. I want to be able to do this. Period. And I was like, I know how to do a lot of other things. I want to be able to do this. Teach me how to do this. And then also help me get a representation and all that shit.
Right. Yeah, that comes at the
end. Yeah. But like, teach me how to do this first.
And then get me employed.
I just want to, I want to be a working actor.
So how's that working out for you?
Well, I'm unemployed right now. So If y'all looking for an actor, I'm joking. I literally just finished a job. What, yesterday? What's today? Oh, it was what day? What day?
Today's Thursday.
Today's Thursday. I got back on Monday, and then I finished a contract. What, at the top of? I was doing a show at Playwrights Horizon that went to the Goodman, and I shot a film in the fall. Listen,
But tell us about the downs.
yeah, because it's
how you
like
handle those. Like, what have been your downs?
I'm down right now. I need money. Give me money. I'm about to have an OnlyFans page in this motherfucker.
Nah, man.
I might. Who cares?
What are you gonna do? Show your ankles?
I'm not show my toes. Look my ice cream on the motherfucker.
Feeling
no,
steak
just like,
sandwiches?
you know, when people do the ASMR and they get real low and they just talk into them. I want to do that shit. Listen. How do I get through it? I make myself laugh.
Yeah.
I laugh through the shit because it's laughable. It's laughable. Even when you're working, it's laughable because you're like, wow. Like, you know, I don't know who said this to me, but they said the biggest way to get an actor to complain, give them a job.
Oh, man, that's terrible.
Because it's like you get a job.
The actors complain, though. Why?
Well, I'm not complaining. It's just like, I just get, like, when you, listen, not having a job is tough, right? Because I'm like, how do I pay my rent? I have other ways of paying my rent. I save a lot of money. I write. I do a lot of other things. But more importantly, I like acting. I love acting. I love being an actor. When other shit is going wrong, I can like literally fuel everything through this thing that will make me, and this sounds probably fucked up and my therapist would tell me to like go like, you know, figure this out. But like it literally helps me heal. Like I like putting myself in, you know, in the work and my whole self in the work, and through that I sort of feel liberated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just find ways to stay connected to that, to love of it. I watch things. I go to see theater. I see a lot of theater. I see more theater than most people. I see almost everything.
And you pay for it.
Who said I pay for it? I just said I ain't got no money. I'm looking for a job. I mean, I'll pay for some things, but like, you know, when you end the thing, you find ways to get the thing or get things, you know?
Yeah.
You just, you know, comps come up for everything everywhere.
Yeah.
There's a way to get into any performance through the back door. You just sneak in.
Yeah.
Illegally.
So you're unemployed right now. You need money. But you have ways to make money.
Yeah.
But you still need money.
I mean, do you not need money?
I mean, yeah, but you know, are you in a place where you can be like, I'm good.
Oh, I'm good.
Just use some more so I can be better.
No, I can pay my rent up until the end of this year.
That's great.
So I'm always like, and I've been in that place for a bit, but like, that's still a scary place to be. I want to thrive. I don't want to survive. You know what I mean? I want to thrive. I want to like be able to build, you know? I want to pass down things to my family members who will be here after me. You know, like I don't want to be running a rat race. No one wants to be running a rat race.
No.
I want an easy life. I don't want to have to do workshops that I don't want to do. Just because I'm like, oh well, this $800 will do me good over the next 4 days, or this $100, this $200. I could do this for a day, and now I don't have to worry about the fact that I don't want to have to do that.
Paper chaser.
Yeah, it's, you know, like I'm good, but like, you know, I'm not. If I was, oh God, if I was good, you wouldn't see me.
Where would you be?
I would be in my ranch. I would have built my ranch by now.
Okay.
Offering somewhere with my horses.
Yeah.
Y'all want to see my black ass?
Yeah, that's a dream of mine.
Yeah, I wouldn't be here if I didn't have to run the rat race.
New York is where you come to make your money, huh?
Yeah.
and go off and
Yeah.
enjoy.
And at some point I will leave. I will like have a hand here, have my hand in things here, but I will not live here
Mm-hmm.
at some point,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when that point is.
Right.
Maybe it's tomorrow. Maybe it's the day after. Maybe it's a year from now. I'm being glib a little bit, but I don't know when that point is. But I do know that point is coming, and I'm excited for it. Yeah.
Is there any gig that you got that you were like, this is it. This is like this is it. This is the one that I've been dreaming about. I'm on top of the world right now.
That I got that I'm like, this is the one. I mean, sure, but sure. What are you asking me?
I'm asking, like, when you let's say when you first came out of grad school and you booked that feature film role, number 1 on the call sheet, what was your
Fucking elated,
right?
Fucking, it was fucking. My mom was like, "Oh thank God!" I was like, "Oh shit! Oh God!" You're like, you're a little relieved. You're like, okay, it wasn't all in vain. I didn't, you know what I mean? You're like, there's something there. It's not just in my head. I'm not crazy. I might be crazy.
Did you think you were a movie star at that time? Like, that you like, this is the thing that's got to make me a movie star?
No, I mean, if you star in movies, you're a movie star. The fuck?
I'm talking about, starring in movies all the time.
You talking about fame?
Yeah.
I don't seek that. I seek financial stability.
All right.
I don't seek fame.
That's good.
I'm a working actor. I like to. I'm not seeking like. Now, if it comes, I'm like more than prepared for it.
Yeah.
But I that's not what I'm chasing. I think I chase the. I guess I asked you to clarify because I was like, yeah, anytime you get a job, it's exciting. You know what I mean? Every job I get, I'm excited about.
Yeah.
Like everyone, I get really excited. You want to know why? When I got my first play, I remember looking at my agent and being like, man, am I going to work again? And he said, if I had a nickel for every time Audra McDonald asked that question.
Wow.
And I was like, wow. So after that, I was like, I can be excited. I get so excited every time something else. I think that the reality, like when you're doing theater, especially when you're doing commercial Broadway theater, is that like, you don't know, like you aren't in control of when that ends. You aren't in control. Like you get to go up there and do your best. The thing when you asked about a moment where I was like, I'm doing it, I think about Ain't No More because I was like, I get to use the full facility of what I went to school for.
Yeah.
I was like, and y'all motherfuckers get to see it. Because all y'all who didn't think I could do it. It's a bitch. Like I actually light up for moments like that where I get something where I look on the page and go, this is difficult. I get to do something really difficult. That excites me more than like. And the first film I did was really exciting for that very reason. Because I was like, I don't know what the fuck this is. And you know what I mean? Yeah. Like it was, you like look on the page and you're like, okay, this is exciting. I think that thing excites me. Like I think what you're talking about, that fame, I think that excites other people.
Because I'm asking because I want to get to, I want people, I guess, going through this journey of being an actor to, I don't know, I don't know if it's explain or like that process of the highs and lows, right? Of you working in the business, you get a gig, you get a job, you're excited about it, and then you go through moments where you don't have anything.
Yeah.
Right. So,
or you get a job and the shit closes a week after you open.
Yeah. So
that's painful.
Right.
Like that's the type of shit where I actually think that is harder. Like Ain't No More closing. I think the saving grace is that I had another Broadway show lined up right after that. I had a film that was coming to Berlin and Telluride. I had a book coming out. I was like, I can focus on other things, but there was a mourning process.
Mm-hmm.
And that happens. There's a film that I did where I worked with this director, and I was so excited to work with this director. It was a couple in, and I was really, really like, yes, I get to work with this director. And then I saw that shit at the studio's, screening room, and I was like, this is what we made. And so, I'm not like oblivious. I go, well, y'all cut the good shit.
Right. It's out of your control.
Yeah, it's out of your control. So, like, I think when you ask that question, I go, the check still cleared. Like, truly, because people will be like, oh, well, I didn't get that. Because, when people, you talk to me about that, well, I missed you. And I was like, well, the check cleared.
Yeah.
I still got paid.
Right.
I still had a fucking great time doing it, despite what you got to see. Even the film when you're a fucking lead.
Yeah.
This shit that is left on, like, it all is like, well, the check, I think that with film and TV is really hard because you're so out of control after, like, you do the thing.
Mm-hmm.
With theater, it's exciting because I think at the end of the day, Ain't No More was probably one of the most exciting things I got to do, partly because how much of my instrument I got to use, and then how it resonated with my mom. You know what I mean? I mean, my first film, she was fucking excited and elated and everything.
Yeah.
But, like, when she came to see Ain't No More at the Public, she brought a van of people from Philly.
Oh, wow.
And Fedna said, I'll tell you this, but Fedna said that she came running to her in the lobby and gave her a big old hug after that, which is like, I was like, oh, she loved it.
Yeah. Now, it was a very, very good show. I mean, you were able to really flex a lot of what you learned, a lot of your.
Yeah.
It was good seeing all of you guys up there, man. Fedna, even Simone.
Yeah. So that to me is exciting.
Yeah.
And then the thing about something like that is it does catch fire in a weird way. And it, like, starts, even with it closing early, I actually think that like gave it more.
Mm-hmm.
It like it catches fire in a weird way. And then another thing starts to happen. Like, I'll be walking down the street, and I was on the train the other day, and the girl stopped me. She goes, "You're an actor, aren't you?" And I was like, yeah. She was like, Marchant. And I was like, yes.
Nice.
And she was like, yeah, were you in Fat Ham? And I was like, no, I wasn't in Fat Ham. She's like, tell me, what's the last Broadway show you did? And I was like, I did Goodnight Oscar. And then I did a show called Ain't No More. And she's like, oh, yes. And I was like, wow, okay, yeah, you saw it. You know what I mean? And so, like,
what was that feeling like?
It's nice to know that you do something for somebody. Mm-hmm. Like, that's why I do this. Like, you get to share something. You get to give something with somebody that they'll take with them, that they get to keep and hold. And I think the unfortunate part with Ain't No More is that it closed early, so not everybody got that. But the people who got it.
Yeah.
And they were like, "This is mine." Like, if you didn't get to see that, then you didn't get it. You know what I mean? And so, I think that to me is like, when it comes to like that's what I aim to do. I don't because fame is like, there are a lot of famous people.
Yeah.
There are people out here doing fucking Jurassic Park 12 or what's the Fast and Furious 16. I don't give a fuck about. I don't they don't do anything for me.
Right.
That's not and like, acting aside, if I wasn't an actor, that doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
But I do remember Cecily Tyson's performance in Trip to the Bountiful, and I remember her turning to the audience, and I remember I got something that nobody else is going to get because I went on closing night, and Viola Davis was there, and I bumped into her on the way in, and like, I remember her turning to the audience and just waving goodbye, and I remember being like, wow, we may never get to see this woman on stage again. She did Jen Game after that.
Yeah.
But I didn't get to see that. So I that to me is what's most palpable and powerful. Like, or like, I'm trying to think of some other, there are a lot of performances that have really, I think of Jesse Tyler Ferguson in the recent revival of Take Me Out. I was like, wow, that is, what he's doing up there is quite lovely. Like, or Cynthia Erivo in fucking Color Purple. I remember sitting with Stephanie Lane, and we were both like, the flawed, because like she gave us something And yeah, she garnered all the other things. You know, people now, I think people would consider her famous,
Yeah.
whatever that means.
Celebrity now.
Yeah, sure. But I think what was important for her is the work. I think that's the kind of I will always, I'll die on this hill. I'm the kind of actor that where I want to be remembered by what my work did to you.
But remember when Kevin Bacon and Kira Sedgwick came and spoke to us, and he said he loved being famous. Remember that? It's like people tell you they love you and they give you free shit.
Well, yeah, I mean, sure. I would like for people to give me free shit and all, but they also don't tell you the truth. Like,
is truth very important to you?
I mean, one of my favorite, Denzel, I was just saying, Denzel Washington said to me when we was rehearsing German, he said, tell the truth.
He told you that?
He told all of us that.
Oh, okay.
Yes, the truth is important to me. Like, I love accountability. I don't think we should ever like strive to be in a place where we're untouchable. Like that mentality to me doesn't make sense. But good for him. I don't see. I block shit like that out. I don't even remember him coming and saying that.
Really?
Yeah. Kira Sedgwick, they came to my show at Playwrights too.
Oh, really?
The Antiquities, yeah.
Oh, did they say hi to you afterwards?
I saw Kira in the lobby. They loved it.
No, they were really. I mean, they were really nice when they came and spoke to us. I remember that. But speak your truth.
I'll never forget. This is a little sidebar story because I remember the last in-person audition I had was a final callback for Sitting on a Hill with Kevin Bacon.
Oh, yes.
It was the last in-person audition I had before the world shut down.
Wow. He was in the room?
Yeah, he was, because I think he was executive producer on the show too. So he was pretty much like, the showrunners and folks would talk about, he did a lot of talking. And I remember it because I was like, the scene, I was referring to somebody in the scene, something that happened. And I had they gave me a new side for the callback, and I was like, doing it, whatever. And then I did it for the callback, did it for Kevin. Kevin was like, oh, we should have probably said this, but the person you're referring to, you killed. I was like, that piece of information is a piece of information you give people before they come in. Before they come in.
So did that screw up your performance?
I mean, maybe I wasn't a good enough actor. I know. I think I wasn't the one for the job, but I probably was just not a good enough actor to make that work. I don't know. I couldn't.
That show is not on anymore.
No.
Right. And which role was that?
It was a role. I forget what season it was. Whatever season was going in 2020. So it was like a 7-episode arc. Yeah. Yeah. I'll never forget it. And Shannon Wallace, I think, got that role. Good for him. He's smarter than me. Better than me. A lot of people are.
We've gone on for some of the same roles. That movie that you spoke about out of grad school, I auditioned for that too.
What movie?
The Day
Shall Come?
Yeah.
Which role?
Your role.
Yeah, you want to hear something crazy?
What?
There was an NYU alum who is the other, there's, me and someone else. And they went and asked about this person's schedule because they were like, and then it took a little long to get back. And they were like, actually, we want Marchant. But it was, at least that's the story that was told to me. They probably offered it to this motherfucker. He said no.
You know who it is?
Oh, no, I do.
Oh, okay.
No.
I'll edit it. You can tell me afterwards. So, yeah, that and there was something else. Ain't No More. Same role. I auditioned for that too.
Really?
Yeah.
See, people don't.
But not when it was going to Broadway. So they did a production at the public before you did the public production.
Yeah, they did Public Works.
Right. So that's when I had auditioned for it.
It's so funny. Yeah, it's funny how that happens sometimes because we're very different. I mean, we're literally just like age-wise, we're
age-wise.
You want two different. I was like, you want two different things. I mean, we're gonna attempt to do the same thing, but you're asking that's two different actors.
Right.
You got one that is like, how old are you now?
I'm 44.
Exactly. It's like that's a big age gap too.
Yeah, it is.
Like to be like, and at that time, I was entering the room at
24, 6.
You was 2018, so it's 26. When I auditioned for
my 30s, or late 30s, 39.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah.
that to me, that's like, but that happens so much in the like. It's also because there's so little roles for Black men right now. I mean, in general, but right now that's crazy. But that sometimes I feel like there are moments when that happens, and I'm just like, oh,
yeah.
Look, we are in a monolith. My friend Mamadou went in for that role too. Like, I remember being like,
Mamadou's my homie.
Yeah, and he told me, and I was like, oh, he was like, yeah, that wasn't for me. I was like,
I just want to see what anyone's take is. Pretty much.
I was like, when knowing what the director actually wanted and was going for, I was like, none of those people were right. Not because I'm like,
well, how would they know that
until you see it, yeah.
And that's, I guess, part of the whole casting process. But I guess when you know what you want and you know exactly who can give it to you, you make an offer without even auditioning people.
I've had that happen. So you know this. I've had that happen a handful of times. And
pretty blessed man.
Yeah, it's happened. It's when it happens, it's a you're right about that. When they know and they like, because it happened to me with Reality, which ended up being a bigger film than I thought it would be. Like in terms of the way it was received and like won a Peabody, got nominated for Critics' Choice. She got nominated, it got nominated for Gotham, won a PGA. It just did the things and went to some pretty big film festivals and just like it did a lot more than it was the film that kept on, and even like the back end profits, it did a lot more than I thought it was going to do. And that was, I auditioned for the Broadway production, got it, and turned it down. Back in 2020, what was he? 4 years out, 2021, at the beginning of 2021, I think.
Right. So you auditioned for this Broadway production, you got it, and you turned it down.
Yes.
Why?
Because I didn't want to do it.
But did it not hit the 4 P's, and you didn't get 2 P's out of that?
Yep.
You did.
Didn't get pay.
There was no pay.
The pay wasn't what I wanted it to be.
But you knew that going in, or no?
Knew what going in?
That the pay wasn't going to be.
I knew that going into the audition? No.
Oh, okay.
No. And sometimes I do.
Right.
Like
this time you didn't.
Yeah. I've actually not gone to. This sounds so pretentious. I'm not trying to be pretentious, but my reps will just tell me, like, especially when it comes to theater specifically, like my reps will be like, it's favorite nations for this. It's going to be this. And I'll go, okay, I won't go to the callback. Or I won't go to the final callback. Or I will take myself out of the mix if I know for a fact that there's no way in hell I can afford to do it.
Exactly.
More than anything else. I'm not trying to be pretentious.
I think that's very smart. I think people should look at, especially actors, because many actors have the reputation for like, I got to get whatever I can get.
No, and my rep will say, he'll be like, yeah, just so you know, this is this. I think you should not go to this.
Right.
Listen, I think everybody is different, but yeah, that has happened. And with that, I think it was me being like, I don't know. I was having a lot of really good luck auditioning around that time. And it was right after a film journal. And so I was just like confident that something else was going to come that was paying more. And it did. Literally, like, I think a week later, after I said no to doing that Broadway show, An offer for an indie film came in that I couldn't do because I was out of town. I was like, they were like 4 days next week or starting tomorrow. They need you right away. I don't know what happened. And I was like, could they fly me back tonight? Yeah. And they were like, no. And I was like, no. I was like, sorry. I was like, I would come back if they can fly me back.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was play. I liked the play actually because I wouldn't have auditioned. I really liked it. It was pay mainly at that time. And maybe I was really big on play. The people, I was just like, the directors seemed cool. I didn't know anyone else who would be in it. Really, it's a small cast, like 4 people. The play was exciting, but at that time, I didn't really know the people, and the pay was not what I needed it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I was not ready to go back and do theater into the I was one of those people that was like a little more cautious about going back into the theater after the pandemic, or like in midst pandemic, because this was 2021. Like this was like a year, like we're talking like March of like a year after.
Right. Yeah.
So I was like a little hesitant to go and I was hesitant. I was just hesitant. I don't know what other way to say it. I was just hesitant to do that.
Yeah.
And then that came back around because I randomly, I remember I was driving down Atlantic Avenue and I got a call from my agent and my manager. And they were like, hey, so we got some news for you. And I was like, what? And they were like, so you remember Reality? And I was like, did I audition for that? Like, because that happens sometimes where I'll be like, wait, what is this? When did I audition for this one? Okay, so what's happening with it again? Remind me.
Yeah.
What was the name of the project when I auditioned for it? What's the name of it now? Okay, and then because it'd be like,
want to go do your research.
Yeah, because sometimes they change the names of the projects. You know, you're like, I don't know what the fuck this is. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Oh, this was a play. And they're like, yeah. I was like, oh, this is a play I said no to. And they're like, yeah, but we think that this film could be a really great opportunity. I was like, okay. And they're like, it would be, they said they're just offering it to you. I was like, okay. I was like, that's nice. I was like, who else is in it? And they were like, Sydney Sweeney. And I was like, okay. I didn't really watch. I didn't know who she was. And Josh Hamilton. And I was like, okay, all right. Or did they know Sydney was in it at the time? I'm not sure if they knew Sydney was in it at the time. I'm not sure. I would have to like go back and look. I don't remember. But I know it was one of them. They knew, one of them they didn't know. I was like, okay, all right, okay, cool. All right. Well, let me know how much it is this time. Hopefully it's better than last time. I was like, it's gonna be better than last time. And because it's filmed. So it'll be a little better. And it was fine. It wasn't that great.
Good enough.
Good enough will do. But I was like, it's a film, so it'll go further. Which it did. A lot further. And so, yeah, that's one of those instances where I said no to a thing, and then it came back around where they were like, yeah, they really wanted me. And the casting director, when I said no, felt really bad because I wasn't asking for that, like anything too crazy. They wouldn't budge on anything. And so I was just like, this is theater. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing it. I can't. And my agents were really proud of me for saying no at that time. And I was really proud of myself because I don't know, when you say no to something like that, it starts to instill a bit of confidence in you in a way that saying yes doesn't. And I know that sounds stupid, but it made me go, I have more agency than before I was like, it was, I talk about having agency and it was always like audition saying, but then to get a thing and be like, okay, so even the money it was like, it's still decent. It was more I had or I was making at that time.
Right. More than zero.
It's more than, yeah, exactly. I had a savings, but like, I was just like, it's something. So like that could be great. And I was weighing the options and yeah, but I ended up not doing it because I was like, ultimately, it didn't align with everything that I wanted. And I remember thinking that, wow, I felt I remember calling my manager. She was like, how do you feel now that you said no? I said, I actually feel lighter. She said, that's good. And I was like, okay. I feel nervous though. That's what I also said. So really nervous. I was like, I don't know what's next. I'm feeling nervous. I don't like. I know I said no. I know. But like, I'm not like. I don't feel good about having done what I did. Not like I killed some, but I was like, I don't like. I feel relieved that I did it, but I feel nervous financially because I'm like, I don't know what's next, and that's like we live in that constant unknown. So like, but I'm used to that feeling, so I was like, okay. She's like, oh yeah, you'll be fine. You know what I mean? And yeah, so yes, things do happen in that way where you can just get an offer for something because they know. And it happened with something else I did.
Yeah.
It's happened with a few things I've done. Now.
That's great. So
crazy enough, it didn't happen with the last show I did, and I did the fucking workshops for that. And it was an off fucking Broadway show. And yes, I'm talking about it in the way that I'm talking about it because that's crazy, y'all. That's crazy. I did all those damn workshops, and y'all still made me come in and audition for that role. I'm grateful. Had a lot of fun doing it, but it's crazy that I auditioned for, but I really wanted to work with that director.
It's like having a job, and then a seasonal job, and them saying, all right, you were seasonal and you worked well. You did it good, man. Thank you so much for getting us through the season. We want to bring you back, but you have to interview for the job.
And you're like,
for the same job you had.
And you're like, but I did it already.
Yeah, I already.
So do you not trust that I could do it? I think that, but it's humbling. It is also just a little nerve wracking because you're like, but it's not even the only reason I tell you was the people and the play and the place. Like I wanted to work at Playwrights. I wanted to work with that director, and I thought the play was really cool.
That's good.
But I do remember like it. So all that to say, it works in many different ways, Rashad. Like, yeah, I could get a straight offer for this film that goes all around the fucking world. And then this off-Broadway play where I'm like playing an ensemble. I mean, it's an ensemble cast sort of show. Making pennies, like that I did workshops of, they make me audition for. And then I do it. Like, I say that because there's like, it doesn't all make sense all the time, because you would think that you know what I mean?
And you didn't bump heads with anybody in the production or anything like that? No politics involved?
What are you talking about?
Like, you said, you don't understand how that happens, but I guess it's part of the business. Do you feel like, was there anyone that probably pushed the button on a no based on something personal?
No, I don't think so. They had wanted me to do those workshops for years before. Like even after I did the one last year, they had asked me to do the one before that. And then asked me after seeing me, all of them had seen me in Ain't No More. So it's like one of those weird things.
Yeah, it's like, kind of weird.
It was. I'm not gonna lie, and I said that in the room sometimes.
And you never really get an explanation or any sort of like, this is why.
I love those directors though. I do. I will say that much. I love Kid and I love David. But yeah, no, I don't know. I couldn't. I think I knew what they were unsure about a certain section in the play, and I was like, okay, well let's do it, and then I helped them unlock it.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, because I did the workshops. I have an insight here.
Yeah.
Being inside of it. We got on a Zoom, we did the audition, and they were like, oh yes. Yeah. And I was like, great. And then I went about my day, and I was like, oh, we'll see what happens there.
And they just put you in the waiting room.
Yes, I was in the Zoom waiting room at that.
Yeah, right.
And it was only me. It was the only person they were seeing that day.
That's crazy. But that's why these conversations are important, because there is no one way to go through this whole process.
Nope, it don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. Like I remember people would come up to me and be like, "Yeah, I auditioned for your role in that show that you just did." And I was like, "Yeah, I also workshopped the show that I just did, and I'm glad you auditioned for it. I wish I'm happy for you. I don't know what to say, like other than yeah." I don't even tell them I don't even the amount of people who said that to me, I don't even tell them unless they're like really close to me
Yeah.
that I did the workshops, then they would know. But they would be like, "Oh yeah, audition for that." I'm like, "Oh yeah, well, did you like it?"
Yeah.
I don't know
What did it say?
I don't know. And it's also weird because I'm like, well, I did the workshops, and it's just weird. It's just weird. This industry doesn't make no damn sense.
But you love it.
I love acting. I don't love the industry.
Mm.
I don't like no, I don't like the industry of it all. I love acting.
Yeah.
I don't
You
love,
have to.
yeah, because the industry of it all, I mean, there's things that excite me about it, but like, yeah, I don't love the politics and all that other shit. Or like I don't even love auditioning.
Oh, I don't either.
Because I think it in the way that we do it here, I will say the best audition process I've ever been a part of or I've ever had to go through was when I auditioned for the first film I ever did.
Yeah.
That's
Was this like unorthodox?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had, and it was a lot. Like I went in like 5 or 6 times, but every time it just felt like I was like we sitting here talking.
Yeah.
That was the audition. One day I came in for an hour and a half just to sit down and talk with this man.
Yeah.
And then the next day we came back and filmed. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's wild.
He handed to me the size and I came back the next day to film.
Yeah.
I was like, it was a different sort of process.
Mm-hmm.
And whether I got it or didn't, it felt like I was just like, I'm just enjoying this process.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and I learned a lot about like the role and the project through that audition process.
Mm-hmm.
And they learned a lot about me. Like it felt like more like a back and forth as opposed to like what I find most auditions are just so.
Well, that's how the traditional business world works is you have a meeting with somebody, see if you like each other and you want to work with each other. You may go on a couple of coffee dates, a lunch date, a dinner date, and be like, hey, let's make a deal between each other and let's work together.
Yeah, but now you get stuff and you don't even, like, I mean, at this point in my career, I've had a number of jobs that I've gotten. That play that I auditioned for over Zoom, I met them because I did the workshops. Mm-hmm. But the last film I did in the fall, that was a self-tape. Journal for Jordan, that was a self-tape. Like, I did another film called Tuscaloosa, that was a self-tape. Like,
it's just the way of the world now.
Yeah, and two of those 3, I never even, because the journal and the last one I did, I never met anybody. Like I never met the director until I got on set. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No.
Both of them. They were both never talked to, met anything until I got on set. It's a different world.
Yeah.
I like human connection.
Right. And you think that's why we're doing this thing, and you would think more of the people who make the decisions will do it too, but
I don't expect execs to do that, but I do think the directors have obligations. So I would hope that they are, because I think that a lot of people are finding now, people get on set and they can't even do the thing that you hire them to do, or like they have you don't know their person, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I would hope that directors do a little more due diligence because they are artists and they do know what it's like to,
yeah.
Like I think that they can do a little more. The execs are going to do what the execs.
Of course, it's numbers.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's good. I usually ask people, "Who you think you made it?" And what is?
Do I think I made it?
Yeah, you think you've made it?
I've made a lot of things.
Not made something like a pie. But in the sense of man, because back home,
I will think I made it when. Though my brother called me a couple weeks ago, was like a month ago, being like, yo, Marchant, you TikTok famous. I said, what? He said, you TikTok famous. And I said, what are you talking about? And he sent me a clip of somebody having dubbed a clip from the reality of me with something else. And I was like, oh, does this equates me to be, because, and it had like 2 million views after like a day on TikTok. And I was like, he's like, yeah, such and such was watching it. And she was like, ain't this your brother? And I was like, that's not making it to me.
That's TikTok famous.
That's TikTok.
And in the Gen Z world?
I was TikTok famous.
Yeah.
Making it to me when I get that ranch.
Yeah.
Like when I get that ranch, when I can invite artists to my ranch and we can ride horses and they can go right and we can, that, and then I can come and go. Then I made it. I don't because then I made the thing that I want.
Right.
Like not yet for anyone else, but I made a life for myself.
Right.
That's what when I think of making it. It's not a role, because let me tell you something. Things will come and go. Moments will come and go. I've seen it. I've experienced it. I've had people look at me and been like, this is gonna fucking blow, and you're gonna be da-da-da, and this da-da-da. Like I've had editors at Variety and motherfuckers in this this publication and directors, and I've had people say those things to me. That shit is false. I always look at them like, okay, we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but we'll see. Hopefully. Will I get paid?
That's all I care about right now, man. Just show me the money. Show me the money.
Truly, I'm not even trying to, none of that matters, because at the end of the day, your work is going to resonate with some people and some things aren't going to resonate with others. Like some of the films that I've done thus far are the films I dreamed about doing growing up. You know what I mean? The films that I love, like the indie, I love that stuff. Some of my friends and family back in Philly they go, yo, so when you get in a real movie, and I go,
oh yeah,
when I get in a movie,
I'm a real movie. Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
Tell me what a real movie is. Yeah. He's like, yeah, like Mission Impossible, and I was like,
La blockbuster film.
Yeah. But to me, that's not making it.
Right.
And I was like, and they say that, and I'm like, but you saying that to me, and my bank account is probably still a little bit more than yours.
Yeah.
I still make more money than you. No shade, but
they don't know.
They don't understand what it is.
No.
Because I'm out here making $30,000, $40,000 a year, and I'm like, yeah, I still make a living, but would I like to have my ranch? Yes. You said so. What that is what is making it to me.
Good, because back home, and you got that call about TikTok. I got a call one night. My cousin who was in Austin, man, I was going through Netflix and you on Netflix, man, you made it. To them, that's their idea of me making it. I don't feel that, right?
Yeah, but their ideas of anything are going to be skewed because they don't know what the fuck it is. They have no clue. They're like, you need to hit up Tyler Perry. Oh, what about Oprah? You should talk to Oprah. I'm like,
yeah, I should just call him right up, right?
Yeah. Why don't you all just, there's you need to be on, you ever watch The Chi? You should be on that show. You should be on Power. Why are you not on Power?
Yep.
And I'm like,
because I'm not, I haven't been asked to, there's no role for me.
Yeah. And
hey, what can I say?
Yeah. I go, yeah, y'all, I don't know. I can't say none of this. I ain't got nothing for you.
Ain't got nothing for you. Peace.
Later. This is good, bro. Yeah.
All right, people. That's it for today's session here in the waiting room. If you got something out of this conversation and you find value in this content, whether it made you laugh, think, or take notes, don't just keep it to yourself. Share this episode with a friend who's grinding toward their own dream. And make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next drop. And if you're on YouTube, smash that like and the ring bell so the algorithm knows we're bringing the heat. On Apple Podcasts and Spotify, leave a review. It's free, it takes 30 seconds, and it helps this show reach more folks like you. Until next time, I'm Rashad Edwards reminding you the wait is never wasted when you're working on your craft and yourself. See you in the next one. Peace.